Today, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers faced off against the Detroit Lions and absolutely dominated them. It was 47-7, and Tom Brady was pulled at halftime, and really, it was just a smooth sailing game for a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. As for the Detroit Lions, they put up pretty much no offense. They had three quarterbacks throughout the entire game, and Matt Stafford did have an ankle injury. We really don't know too much about the ankle injury, but it might be severe, and it might put him out for this final matchup that they have next week. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were cruising today. Blaine Gabbert did play a decent game, even though he only played a half. He had two touchdowns as well as over 100 passing yards, but he was not the same as Tom Brady. Now, this is a huge win for us because it really gave us some confidence going into the playoffs that we can dominate teams. We got really spread the wealth today. We had Mike Evans had a couple of touchdowns. Rob Gronkowski had two touchdowns. Leonard Fournette had a touchdown. And we did all of this offensive production without our starting running back, Ronald Jones. We used Leonard Fournette and Keyshawn Vaughn for the majority of the day, but LaShawn McCoy also saw the field. It was a huge win for us, and I can't believe that we beat them that badly, especially away in Ford Field. There were a very limited number of fans. There were only a couple in the stands, but it was still a huge W, and we shut them up. They had nothing to cheer for. They didn't throw too many interceptions. They threw a couple at the end, but it was really no offensive production. They were not getting in our territory ever. They really didn't cross midfield too often on offense outside of that punt return, but we completely shut them down. Our defensive line was getting a ton of pressure too, so the Lions, part of the brighter spots of the Lions team, I do think DeAndre Swift is one of those brighter spots, but their offensive line's actually not that bad. Taylor Decker, one of the great guys on that line, but they were absolutely obliterated by our defensive line. And we have been really changing up our look on the defensive line, where last year it was just Sue, JPP, Shaq Barrett, and Vita Vea. We did lose Vita Vea earlier this season to injury, but we sent so many different guys. Ledbetter got a sack. Also, Steve McLendon was getting in the mix today. Anthony Nelson got a sack. Shaq Barrett. We had a whole bunch of different guys going after the quarterback, which really I think help us kind of change up our look a little bit, and that helps when we can do multiple different things going into the playoffs because we are playing like a playoff team, and a playoff team would beat the Detroit Lions like that because the Detroit Lions, when they have really no head coach, because they had an interim head coach, you can't expect too much out of them, but I definitely thought they would do better than a 47-7 loss. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, what we did well was pass the ball. So our running game, I still think, is pretty weak. I think we're pretty bottom at the league in running. Obviously, it does not help when we have our leading rusher out due to COVID, but we did have some issues today. We did have some issues running the ball a little bit. We gave a lot of volume to the running game. We ran the ball quite a bit, but I like to see when we pass the ball because I think we're so much more effective in the passing game. Tom Brady's only thrown 11 interceptions throughout the entire 15 games that we have played. So really, he's been pretty effective in the passing game. We threw the deep ball extremely efficiently, which is something that we have struggled with throughout this season. I'm really happy to see that as a fan of the game because the deep ball's got to be a weapon for us, especially when we have those deep threat receivers such as Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Rob Gronkowski today had two touchdowns that were a little bit deeper, 20-plus yard throws, so that was huge. Blaine Gabbert also did have a decent day. Usually those backup quarterbacks that come in don't really have much of an outing, but he did have two touchdown passes, didn't throw any interceptions. There was a fumble towards the end. He managed to recover it himself, but really he was not sloppy with the football at all. There were a couple error throws, which we kind of expect when we do that, but Tom Brady, it's night and day between him and Blaine Gabbert because Tom Brady was putting throws on the money. He didn't really miss. He missed his first throw, and since then it was just completely a domination of that terrible Detroit Lions defense. The Detroit Lions pretty much have no defense because they just allowed us to do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted, all over them. Now, I understand their play calling is a little bit skewed because some of their coaches are out under the COVID-19 list, but still, they should have done a little bit better because there's no way that our receiving core, although they are very good, but they should not have just pretty much scored at will. And it could have been a lot more had we not pulled Tom Brady. Tom Brady was on pace for about 8 touchdown passes in the game. Fortunately, we did pull him for the Detroit Lions, fortunately for them, and Blaine Gabbert slowed down. But if this was a playoff game, I'm sure we would not have taken our foot off the gas pedal, and this would have been even more of a blowout than it already was. We did get a lot of those younger guys that were trying to develop into the game. It could have been a lot more had we kept the starters in, but there's really no need. The Detroit Lions starting team was not going to beat our backups. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'm very happy to see this Tampa Bay win. And I want to talk for a second about an update on the channel. I have not posted in a week and a half. That is very clear to you guys, I'm sure. I did post a video a little bit a while ago about what's going on, but I have gotten a diagnosis. I am okay right now. Not a huge deal. We will be posting again as normal. Super excited for playoff time. Also, I am launching a new Madden channel. I'll be doing Madden NFL videos. I know a lot of you guys like that. A lot of you guys bring that up in the comments, and I've talked to a lot of you guys that said you liked that. So I'm going to be launching one. I do play the game, and we're going to be doing that on a separate channel. I'll leave the link to that channel in the description. You guys can go check that out, show it some support. I am okay. We will be doing some frequent posting like we were right before my heart thing, so we are good, and I can't wait to continue posting and continue adding content to the channel. As always, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.